Now, we'll talk about how you can make some real money. There's a lot of fat underneath the skin of a duck. Usually about a good quarter-inch layer of fat. Remember, they're aquatic birds. They need to float. They need to stay warm on the water in the wintertime. So they need that insulating layer of fat around them. Don't throw the fat away. Put that in a rendering pot. Collect all the fat from all 4 birds. We're going to end up with 4 or 5 pounds of fat. You're going to put a little bit of water at the bottom of this pot. Bring it to a simmer. The fat's going to melt into the water. Eventually the water is going to evaporate and you're going to have completely clarified duck fat, which looks just like clarified butter. It can be used just like clarified butter for just about any purpose. Sauteing or, you know, basting or whatever else you would want. You could even make a warm emulsion with it if you wanted to, you know. Duck fat hollandaise. It would work. You could do it. If you figure that butter costs about $2 a pound, and by the time you back out the 20% for clarification, you're adding another 50 cents a pound to it. So clarified butter is $2.50 a pound. If you're getting a pound out of each duck, there's $2.50 going towards defraying the cost of this one duck just from the rendered fat. But wait, I feel like an infomercial here. There's more. All right. The giblets and the heart, if you don't know about confit, marinating it with salt and herbs and then slowly cooking it in the rendered fat, you'll learn that in gourmet. And when you learn how to do that, you can apply that principle to the giblets and the heart. And the confit of these pieces, and this, when chilled, you slice them, you fry them up crispy like bacon, and you sprinkle them over the top of salads or baked potatoes like bacon bits. Okay, so there's a couple of cents there. But here's where the real money is: duck liver. Render out your duck fat, clarified duck fat. Take the duck livers, marinate them in a little bit of brandy or a little bit of sherry or a little bit of port. Then put the livers with the brandy in a blender, puree it. Add a couple of eggs, add a little bit of cream. Basically, it's going to look like a raw liver milkshake. While the blender's still running, you take some of the clarified duck fat and you drizzle it in and you emulsify the fat into the livers. Then you pour it into a pate mold, a tureen. You put it in a water bath and you bake it for about a half an hour at about 350 degrees. And it's going to set up into a duck liver mousse. But it's a duck liver mousse with duck fat added. So duck liver plus duck fat equals foie gras. Now, you can't sell it as foie gras because technically it's not foie gras. But what you can do is you just put on your menu tureen of duck liver mousse and $15. And when the customer says to the waiter, "Tell me about this $15 tureen of duck liver mousse," the waiter very honestly says, "Well, it's amazing. You should see what the chef can do with the duck livers. Makes them taste exactly like foie gras. Most people couldn't tell the difference. Would you like to try some?" You're going to put about a 2-ounce portion on this plate and sell it for $15. And from the livers from 4 ducks, you're going to get about 2 pounds of this stuff by the time you've added in the cream and the fat and the eggs. So you're talking about 32 ounces, so you get 16 portions times $15. What's that, about $190? My math right there? Yeah, okay, so you get $190 off of the livers and a couple of eggs. Now, it gets better than that even if you can do off-site catering. Because when you go and do off-site catering, you're going to sell a cocktail party with passed hors d'oeuvres, and they're going to use waiters to pass things around. And if you've ever done that before, the way you sell those hors d'oeuvres is not by the piece, but by the 100. So when you're sitting down with Mrs. Jones from the Hamptons, and you say, "Well, Mrs. Jones, you're having 100 people. We would estimate you'd need about 800 hors d'oeuvres, 8 per person over the course of 2 hours. So let me show you some options, what you can order. We've got the caviar, and we've got the blini, and we've got these beautiful gougere. You guys know what a gougere is? It's a puff, like a cream puff, like an eclair, chocolate eclair dough, except you make it with savory ingredients, like a little black pepper and some Parmesan cheese in the dough. So you make these little gougeres, little puffs, and you take this mousse that we made and you whip it up in a KitchenAid mixer and you fill it in a pastry bag and you pipe it in. So you get these little foie gras, or faux gras, mousse puffs. And you say, they go great with the champagne that you're going to be serving at your past hors d'oeuvre party. We sell them by the 100. You have to buy 100 pieces minimum, but they're only $3 a piece. So you get $300 for 100 of these, and that 2 pounds will make you about 150 to 200. So you're going to get about $600 if you can. I mean, that's how Martha Stewart got rich. You know, this is like by selling good, easy to prepare food that you can sell for a lot of money to rich people. So you're going to end up, if you can do this, and I've done it. I did it in Napa Valley. You're going to make $600 off of 2 pounds worth of leftover duck livers. Right? So that's doable. And we haven't even used the expensive parts of the duck yet.